Right, let's now try to convert this car back to petrol. Let's see if that's gonna take a lot of time or not. By the way, this Mazda came to me with some blank screws which I had to drill and then use a screw extractor to take them out. And I have just replaced them with these M5 Allen key screws. Much simpler to deal with. Using a pick tool makes it ever so easier. Oh, you know what? I should have probably removed the battery first. I hope that didn't cause any trouble with the ECU in the sense of some body sensor maybe throwing an error. Right, power off. Bit cramped, but not a huge issue. Now I can remove these. It's 3 screws that hold this air intake system in this car. One is here, other one is here, and the last one is there. Now it's slightly tricky to get to that one. Should be okay. So it's just right here at the center at the back. Okay, I can screw it with my hands now. Yes. I also want to remove this. I'm gonna use my pick tool. A screwdriver is usually fine as well. Just want to do a bit of this. It should go off. Now the car instruction manual says to remove this as a single unit, the fresh air intake, because this one is actually, this side is hard to remove. Very hard, I'd say. I tried to remove it but didn't. There's a hose at the back which you want to pull from its seat. Not disconnect it, but just remove it from the holder. And okay. This should almost go now. I have this cable harness which I can put down a little bit. I can connect the muff sensor back again because I plan on using it on the petrol configuration. And yeah, there are 2 hoses that are going underneath the box which are held. I also have some sort of a holder in the box. It's a little bit unusual place to put it because it's hard to put them back. It's not really hard, it's just a little bit. Oh yeah, forgot the intake. Okay, some screw so I can kind of jiggle it out. You know what? I actually have to remove the muff sensor. I forgot about that. It can't stay. It needs to go. And now it's easy. Real quick job on this car. I'm gonna put that aside. Now I'm gonna inspect my installation, my hydrogen installation right here. So I think it's easiest just to remove it in one go. So disconnect the original injectors, which I had to find the matching connectors to make my own interconnect. That's it. Now I just use what is it, number 13? I think it's 12 actually. Yeah, because these screws 12. Perfect. Can remove this and this. Lost it, but it didn't went far away. I can see it still. Now sort of a moment of truth. How did my injectors worked out? Oh yeah, the mains. Oh, I forgot about that. The mains, the power supply wiring, a custom edition. So I disconnect this. This is my wiring for the injectors, high current ones. They are like 4 times higher current than the original car injectors. Probably gonna show you that if I remember to. Now, what I really needed was a spade connector on this, so I don't have to undo the screw, but I didn't have any, so I just used the ring terminal. Ring terminal is great, but not as practical. So here you go. Ring terminal off. Need to remember to tighten this later on. Right. The hydrogen installation is now out. Look at it. Just the whole deal. This is the moment of truth. How did the nozzles fare? I would say absolutely smackingly. I think you're not gonna be able to see that, I can see, but my 3D printed nozzles are in perfect condition, which means there was no burning of the hydrogen inside of this inside of the intake port. Can I get this to this bit of crust is probably just my, yeah, it's a little bit dirty from the paper, but no troubles there. Onyx, really good material for 3D printing. So not just have I printed the nozzles, but I also printed the whole holder rail with it. Lost one part, and this is the original injector rubber bit. Rubber seal, which is in pretty poor condition because it's a, what is it, 14-year-old car. I suspect nobody has been doing this stuff to the car before me, so I was the first one who removed a bunch of these screws, including the ECU connectors. So what I really wanted to do is see how the new ones compared to the old one. So look at the thickness difference, it's quite big. Just can't see it properly. I hope this is the same size though. Buying on internet, never know. So okay, it does fit, that's a good first sign. Now let's push it in. Yeah, they feel much better. That's actually really positive. I'm pleased with it. But I'll leave it for here for now. Now the next real step is to just install the fuel rail, I reckon. Maybe you can see how tiny these injectors are compared to the hydrogen ones, which are it's like twice the diameter really. 25mm diameter, which this is probably like 12 or something like that. Put new ones on. I'm not gonna bother cleaning this because it's clean from the last time I worked on it. So I'm happy with that. Gotta make sure to put them the right way around though. Here they go. Inside. Great stuff. Okay. I think I should tighten that now. Screw 12 in this case. Not screw, but key opening. Where is the? Where have I left it? Found it. Good. Come on, Mr. Thread. Is that it? That is it? Yeah. So you don't want to cross thread it, so never force the thread if it doesn't feel like it. Just be gentle, wiggle it around until you get the thread to work. This was actually tightened a fair bit, but don't over tighten it anyway because this is plastic at the end of the day. Don't want to break the manifold. Connect back the actuators. And boom. That's it. Now at this point I'm gonna take a quick pause because I want to see these ones. These are now of my greatest interest. Because for my next part of the hydrogen exploration, I'm gonna need to interface these wires and try to retard the spark timing. So in order to be able to do that, I really need to see which colors are these wires and how are they actually connected. It's a fairly big unknown at this point, but I think I see the pattern. So red and blue is on the left side from this perspective, then black is in the center. I bet that's the ground wire. And then the signal wire, which has different colors, black and white, black and red, yellow, black and yellow, and black and blue. Those are almost certainly the signals for the coil packs. Look at this. So red and blue, black and what is this? Black and white. This is how the connector looks, and this is the layout. So what I'm gonna do now is just check with a multimeter on these two whether the grounds are connected together, because I think they should. Positive rails should be connected together as well. Okay, multimeter sanity mode on and working. Now let's probe what I suspect are the power rails. Actually, is this going to be more tricky than I was hoping for? It is. I'm going to need something better. Try number 2 with some breadboard wires. Gonna plug them in. Yeah, that looks great. Yes, connected together. And then the center pins are gonna be then, I suspect, connected together, but connected to ground as well. Yes. Now let's see, grounded. Sure, grounded, yes. I just make sure that nothing else is grounded. Yeah, power rail B plus isn't grounded, and it's also coming from the ECU, and the ECU is removed. And obviously the signal wire is definitely coming from a well-known set of pins on the ECU connector. It's all in the Mazda repair manual, the original manufacturer's repair manual. So that's great. Now we know how it goes, and that means I'm gonna be able to make that board quite easily, because I've already found the connectors. I've done almost the whole schematic and PCB design. I'm just gonna need to tweak it because I've missed how this goes. I put the signal wires to be the central one, but they're not. Okay, I think we have screwed this. I want to put the fuel rail on. Fuel rail on. This is the easiest part. That's the only part where you really need that little pick, because it's a little bit hard to remove the connector otherwise. This is okay. The engine looks nice. I like that. 130,000 miles. So I have also removed last time the fuel pump relay, so I'm gonna put that back. Just need to make sure which one it is. Fuel pump, second from the bottom. Geez, these picks are great tools. Question is, can I actually remove it? There was an empty slot which I put the not the relay but the circuit breaker. I think I'm gonna need. Alright, so after some difficulties with the camera battery, we are back on track to put the fuel pump relay back on. Fuel pump, this is the one. Just make sure relay looks good. Second one from the bottom. Plug it in. Plugged in. Great. Put the cover back on. Nice. It's in. What next? I believe at this point it's probably just to put back the airbox. That has been tightened. Connectors are there, yeah. Put the airbox back. Hvala ti je veš. Insert it there into the intake manifold right after the MOF sensor. I'm gonna be generous and I'm gonna install even these two hoses back in their spots. If I can look at it, it is. Should be right. It's here and here. Should be okay. Like it is. They go in here as well. That's great. Make sure that the connector is in good condition and all. One in. MOF sensor in. The other connector for DC. All good, clear. Put it in, connected. MOF sensor in, this is in. I can even be generous and put the fresh air duct in. Now, put the screws back. Start with the difficult one. Let's see if I can wiggle that in. Actually, no, what let's align these two first, and then the third one might be a bit easier. Screw it in. It doesn't need to be too much. You just don't want it falling off in mid-drive. tighten the intake manifold so it doesn't draw in the air that it shouldn't unmeter there. Okay, that's not going anywhere. ECU connector cover. It's a really clean design, this engine, I reckon. It's super easy, and that's the main reason why I got the car. Because for doing this hydrogen conversion, I wanted a car that has the intake manifold on the front side and is easy to work on. Obviously, this car is also light. It's, I think, 950-70 kilos, something like that. Which is, if you're testing this sort of fuel, then it doesn't make sense to have a huge engine with a huge car, because we all know that combusting hydrogen is extremely inefficient, especially in these engines where the compression ratio is like what? I think this is like 10.3 to 1. So you don't get any thermodynamic benefits of burning hydrogen in an auto process. If it had, I don't know, 15 or 20 to 1 ratio, I don't know if that would be supported. I haven't run the calculations, but I know for a fact that you would get a better thermodynamic efficiency out of the engine. And that's what really a hydrogen engine should be running at. It should be more close to diesel level of compressions than this. And I know for a fact that it does work in diesel easily, because I tried it on my Ford Fusion. You can watch that maybe. So I think the power is the last one I need to hook up. Now I'm also expecting that the car is probably not gonna start instantly, because the fuel rail doesn't have any fuel, because I removed it. I drained it as much as I could because I was using it and all of that. So it's probably gonna take some time for the car to get fuel in. There's a chance I'm gonna need to clear some codes as well, make sure that the engine is running correctly now after I've done these hydrogen tests. I know it's gonna throw some codes like the MUF sensor because it was disconnected. It's a major part of the motor control system in these modern engines. But let's see how much it complains when we turn it on, see what happens. Nice. Well, I hope I didn't miss anything. Everything looks okay, everything is connected, I hope. The fuel rail is connected, so at least it's not gonna squirt fuel all around. Maybe I can put this cable back. It's not a cable, a hose. That's it. Nothing, let's try to start. Oh, missing the key. I think I can hear the difference in the sound. Yeah, let's try. And it doesn't sound like a diesel anymore. Yeah, sounds very nicely, as pretty much as I would expect it to sound. The good is there is no permanent damage to the motor, I think. From what I can see, I need to drive it, obviously, but the valve stems were the biggest concern, I think, really, and maybe this plastic intake manifold, but there was no reason to suspect really that I damaged any of that by a half-hour run on hydrogen. Those engines are really good. Modern engines in general are really good. Yeah, look at it. It does its thing. Goes nice and quiet as well. No knocking sounds. That's the worst for engines. If you hear any knocking coming mechanical, picking is okay because it might be just the valve lifters or maybe even injector. I think this one, when the engine warms up, one of the injectors I think start tick 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 ticking, but not a big issue. The engine sounds really smooth and that's great. Let's try to rev it a bit. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend revving the engine when it's cold, but hey, anything for a test, right? And it was only up to like 4,000 or 5,000 RPM. The weather is good, so the oil is relatively okay. It's like 19 degrees right now, even though it's end of what is it? August? Sorry, end of October. I'm happy with it. That's gonna be ready for a test drive now. Cool. I'll catch you next time, guys. Bye bye.